Hello Virgo, and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your connection to the person that you are dealing with and needing to learn the most from right now. So we're looking at all three sides of the connection. We've got your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it. The concept being that there are three sides to every story. So we're looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and this higher level unbiased truth in the middle. This middle section is looking at what is the deeper purpose of the connection and the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. As I do in all of my readings, I've pulled the overall energy and clarified those messages, as well as the overall theme for the reading, which we'll jump into in just a second, but I still have a different tarot deck I will be pulling from for each side of this connection, as well as the advice deck I'll be using to close out the reading in the extended. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. Last thing, please remember that these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and leave what does not. On that note, this whole reading can be reversed. If that is the case for you, that's totally fine and totally normal. Again, take what helps, leave what doesn't. Also, I am still recovering from this stinking flu-like thing that I had. I don't know if it was actually the flu. I didn't get tested or anything, but the symptoms definitely aligned with that. It wasn't COVID, but I still have the sniffles. I'm still coughing. Like, I'm still I feel great, but these symptoms just will not go away. So bear with me there on that front. All right, Virgo, on your side of this connection, you have we outgrew each other with the Five of Cups. Now, I feel like this tells a much bigger story than just this connection outgrew each other, because it's obvious that you've been very disappointed with this person's behavior in this connection, and I feel like it's behavior that you grew out of. Like, at one point, this connection very much aligned, and maybe, like it was someone that, like, a past version of you would have wanted to be with. I don't know, but I feel like as you've grown, it's almost like this connection hasn't grown with you, which has made it really disappointing because obviously you do love and care about this person, but it feels like no matter how hard you try, it's like their behavior doesn't change. And so you're left just consistently feeling disappointed because, yeah, this person has influence and distractions with the Seven of Pentacles here. So I feel like they're investing in things that, like, aren't really good for them. Like, first things that come to mind: partying, drinking too much, people that aren't good for them. Like, there are so many different things that this could be. A job that isn't good for them, or overworking to avoid kind of facing things. I don't know, but I do feel like this, whatever they're investing in, has been very disappointing for you, because you're like, things would be better if you didn't do this, or if you didn't do these things. And maybe there are certain things that are kind of getting in the way of the connection as well. In between this connection, you have accept it for all it is worth with the Emperor in reverse. This is very much an energy to let go of control. I think I've certainly had to learn that we can't control other people. We can't control other people's decisions. Like, even if we know what's best for them, or even if what we think is what's best for them would help them, we still can't, we can't change them. We can't control anybody. And the more that we try, the more that we kind of end up hurt, because, we try to change someone, and that ends up with us just feeling unvaluable or not good enough when that person doesn't change for us. Now, the overall theme of this reading, I took both of these cards because they both came out, and because the karmic path fell on the table, but this was on the bottom of the deck, this growth here. And I feel like growth, especially with outgrew here, seems to be a pretty central theme of this reading. And I feel like this connection was kind of a pretty karmic experience, and I feel like a lot of the growth that happened for you, I feel like, was a result of the connection itself. So it's interesting because I feel like the connection pushed you to grow, but as you grew, it almost feels like you didn't align with the connection anymore, or like it's not aligning with you. Now, I will say that happens. As we grow and we evolve, we do lose people and lose situations, and other people, not everyone can come with us to where we're going. Now, that doesn't mean, I'm not sitting here saying this connection is doomed, right? But I do think that kind of understanding the ins and outs of what's going on can certainly help you make the best decision for yourself moving forward. So, Virgo, Let's start with looking at your side here. This is Virgo's energy toward the person they are dealing with. You and this person are kind of stuck in a merry-go-round kind of situation. It's like go around and around and we go. Like, here we go again. It's the same old same. Like, it feels like there's a cycle here that has been repeating for quite some time, to the extent that it's almost predictable. Like, it feels like you could probably predict what this person's going to do. Like, you know, how, if there is self-sabotage, like how they're going to self-sabotage or how they're going to respond. So 9 of Wands in reverse, 7 of Cups, World in reverse here. And then you have this Empress here, but I feel like this is more like the core of the message because I took this off the deck. But, you know, I feel like with this 9 of Wands in reverse, it's a cycle that needs to end, but yet, well, okay, first of all, the closer you get to the end of a cycle, the harder that cycle becomes to break, because the more that like the lessons of the cycle come up. So when you're dealing with someone who isn't, you know, treating you well, right before you're like, I've had enough, that person is like, oh, well, I really love you and I really want to change and I want things to be better. And so you're like, okay, I'll give it another chance. But then that behavior doesn't change. But then that person comes back and is like, no, I really care about you. Please, like, give me another chance. And you're like, okay, because I love you, I'll give you another chance. And I feel like that's kind of what has kept you in the cycle here, is this promise that eventually things will be better. But here's what's interesting is I feel like at one point, like, I don't know, it's like you and this person, like, because it feels like you outgrew them in some way. Or like you grew and they stayed the same. And so, I don't know, you're stuck because you're like, I want you to come with me. Like, I want you to come with me on this growth journey. I want things to be good. I want us to, you know, have a good life together, to have a great connection. And this person's like, yeah, okay, like, I'll change. Like, things will be different. And then that never happens, and it's, again, like, here we go again. It's like you're consistently disappointed here. Virgo side of the connection. It's like you know you should walk away, and maybe you have, okay, maybe you have. But you're having a hard time fully committing to that decision. I feel like there's a lot of what ifs for you in this connection, because especially if at one point this connection did really align, things were probably really good at one point, and you were like, why can't we go back to that, or why can't we get there again? And it's interesting. So 8 of Cups, sorry, I'm trying to get better at reading the cards. I've had a couple of people tell me that they want me to do that. I kind of just get caught up in telling the story. But 8 of Cups, Page of Cups, 5 of Wands. It's like, I feel like you know you need to, like, walk away on some level, but you're conflicted, because you're like, if this person grew, or if we could get back to how things were, or where I know things could be, like, this could be really good, which kind of keeps you conflicted in that way, because it feels like everything is telling you you should walk away from this, like, the way this person behaves, the way they treat you, the way they make you feel, but for some reason you're very conflicted in really doing that. And I feel like that is understandable, especially when you really love and care about someone. Of course, you want to help them grow and you want to help them heal. But I feel like this is just about, you know, that's why you kind of have letting go of control, accepting the situation as it is, and trusting that the universe has your back and how things unfold, which isn't always an easy thing to do. If it were easy, everyone would do it and I wouldn't have a job. Virgo side of this connection. Two of Wands in reverse. It's like it doesn't align with you anymore. But, and here's where we get to the core of this, I feel like there's a part of you that's like, but what if nothing better ever comes along? Or what if I miss out on an opportunity? Like, what if I walk away and this person does grow and they do change and I miss out on that because I left it behind? Or, you know, there's so many limiting beliefs that could be a possibility, but I feel like it's like there's a part of you that really knows that this isn't aligning with what it is you truly deserve, but there's a part of you that wonders, but what if this is as good as it gets for me? And I feel like that's a big part of what kind of keeps you hanging on in this connection, and what keeps you like investing, because it's like you're consistently disappointed. You're stuck in the cycle of disappointment. You're conflicted. It's like you know what you should do, but you're conflicted about it because of these limiting beliefs you have. And I feel like that's where, you know, we have to make sure that we don't allow our limiting beliefs to control us. Because the thing is, and you know, I get how hard it is to believe this when you haven't experienced it, but you are capable of being loved in the way that you deserve. Now, you might not have experienced that, which makes you, again, not believe that, but that is possible for you. But the more time we spend in places where we aren't loved well, the more we actually block ourselves from the opportunity of being loved well. But let's see. Let's see what this person is going on. Influence and distractions with the Seven of Pentacles, this person's energy toward Virgo. It's like you don't like how this person's spending their time and energy. You don't like what they're investing in. Because I feel like it's probably situations that aren't good for them. This person's energy toward Virgo. Knight of Swords. Ace of Swords. And Two of Wands in reverse. Oh, that's upright. Right? Yeah, that's upright. See, it's interesting because I feel like this sword is the sword that the knight is holding here. But what does that represent? It feels like they're pushing away. So here's what I was saying. It looks like this sword is the sword that this knight is holding. Like, it's like if you took a picture of the hand holding the sword, this is what it would look like from that angle. But anyway, it feels like this person has a tendency to push away what's good for them and run after what is not good for them. What is this Ace of Swords representing, though? Hang on. I want to clarify this Ace of Swords. It usually means like breakthrough or truth, but the Ten of Wands. Oh. Interesting way of portraying that message. Okay. Oh. I get it. Okay. So the Ten of Wands clarifying the Ace of Swords. You know, the Ten of Wands is like baggage, like past baggage, burdens, traumas, beliefs that we've picked up from along the way on our journey, such as I'm unlovable, I'm not good enough, relationships always end in failure or heartbreak, or love is painful, or whatever the case is. It feels like this person has a lot of baggage. And the reason why I feel like it's drawing to the sword here is because it's like this person's leading with their baggage. They're leading with their trauma, with their which has become essentially a version of their personal truths. Like, it's kind of funny because look at this horse in this. Even this horse is like, are you sure? Like, are you sure this is what we want to do? And I feel like that's, like, this person is making decisions that, like, aren't good for them. And everyone around them is like, I don't know if that's what you should do. But they're so determined because that they're leading with their wounding. They're leading with their baggage in some way, shape, or form. That was interesting. Interesting way of portraying that. Okay. This person's energy toward Virgo. I feel like at one point you were doing that, but as you've grown and healed, maybe you're doing that a little bit less. So that's why this connection isn't like aligning with you as much as it once did or as you thought it could. This person's energy toward Virgo. This is so interesting. It's okay, so Ace of Wands in reverse, 6 of Pentacles in reverse, and 8 of Pentacles. It feels like they are putting so much energy, focus, time, energy, like they're completely consumed by situations that just absolutely do not serve them. They don't reciprocate. It's like the Ace of Wands in reverse is like a lack of, in this context, like following your heart, a lack of following your passion. Like it doesn't align with them. So but they're leading with their baggage in some way. I can't even think of an example of this. Hopefully this is making sense to someone out there. But yeah, it's like all their time, energy, and effort is going towards something that just is not good for them. And I feel like that consistently leaves you disappointed here. It's like, yeah, it's like they're choosing a karmic path almost. Now, I do feel like to a certain extent, they could also kind of be your karmic path that you've been choosing, and that's the mirror. I'm not saying that's the case, but I do feel like that could be the case. This person's energy toward Virgo. I mean, yeah, their fear. It's like their fear is leading the way. Ace of Pentacles with the moon. Page of Pentacles in reverse is like a place coming from a bit of a naive, immature place, and that's kind of the underlying energy. And it just kind of feels like this person has a lot of growth that's needed. It's like they aren't on your level. Now, when I say that, I don't want you to take that as like, oh, you're better than this person, because we're all on our own individual journeys. We're all growing as we need to grow, okay? But it's almost like, you know, your vibration-wise, like you're up here, your capacity to love and to communicate and to be vulnerable is greater than where this person is at. And you're frustrated because I feel like you're trying to pull them up with you. You're like, come on, like things could be so good if you would just get over here with me, like just come on. And it feels like as they continue to let you down, it's almost like they're like almost pulling you down with them. Now, not intentionally, this is very much the energy of someone who lacks awareness. Maybe hasn't gone through an awakening, isn't fully aware of how, you know, their decisions are impacting them in a greater picture or in a greater way. There's always so much more to it. But let's see, Virgo, what do you need to know? This is for Virgo's side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Okay, there we go. Virgo's side of this connection. Seven of Swords. So you're not being totally honest with them in some way. Ten of Wands in reverse. You're trying to bear their baggage for them. So it's almost like you're not being totally honest about what you need or desire or like want from them. It's like you've been trying to help them. Like I said, like trying to pull them with you or trying to fix them or heal them or rescue them in some way. But the thing is, you can't rescue them. You've got to rescue yourself first. Because if you're trying to rescue someone who's drowning, but you're drowning too, everyone's going to drown. Who's going to save you, you know? And I think that it's interesting because I feel like you're like, oh, okay, if I just hold back, like, I'll just put up with where this person is at. Like, just kind of, I'm not saying you haven't tried to set boundaries or tried to communicate, but I feel like for the most part, you're like, okay, I'll just like, you know, I have empathy for them. I'm just going to kind of let them be where they're at. And I'm going to try to help them. Like, I'm going to try to save them from this path or save them from the, but then through the process of that, you started drowning. You started drowning here. And I feel like this is about, you know, saving yourself before you can save others. Now, we're not here to save or fix anybody, but we can certainly support people in that journey. But that's where, like, we have to learn the difference between supporting someone and trying to save them, because you can only save people who want to be saved or who are willing to save themselves. Because it feels like, I don't know if like a lost soul is the right word, but like, yeah, it feels like they're just kind of wandering through some darkness, and like you're trying to be their light, but so much of your light is going to trying to be their light that it's almost like their darkness kind of started to consume you here. This is Virgo's side of the connection. Your priorities are draining you. Two of Pentacles, Four of Swords in reverse. Your priorities are draining you because you're prioritizing or have been prioritizing this person and what they need and how they need to grow and how you can help them. But the thing is, this isn't about saving them. And I said this already, but I'm saying it again. This is about saving yourself. And this is about recognizing that this connection, they're choosing a karmic path that isn't good for them, that's dragging them down, and you're choosing this karmic path, like them, as a karmic situation which is dragging you down. It's almost like they're the reflection of the experience that you're having with them. It's really wild how that's happening. But yeah, it's like you're being drained every last drop, because you're giving so much to this, to try to be for this person. And you know, I think that you see that a lot with empaths, right? You should be empathetic towards other people. I think that if this world severely lacks empathy, and if everyone had empathy, this world would be a much better place. But being empathetic towards somebody else does not mean you lack empathy for yourself. And I feel like you know, it's like, well, this person deserves love, or this person deserves saving, or this person deserves help. Well, Virgo, so do you. And you have this whole time. It's just that you've been waiting for this person to be that for you while you're trying to be that for them, but they're not being that for themselves. So no one's being that for you. Virgo's side of this connection. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Okay, with the Justice. There is something very karmic going on here. And that this karmic situation, it's deep. It's almost like it's hard for you to escape it in some way, shape, or form. Like you feel trapped in this for some reason. Maybe you're like, I want to move on, but I can't, or I don't know what it is. You feel trapped in this in some way. And it's because there's a karmic lesson that needs to be learned before this connection can be, like, before you can find your freedom from the pain that this connection causes. So there's a deep karmic lesson here associated with this connection. Because this Justice is about the balancing of karma. Wheel of Fortune in reverse is like it's things that don't seem very great, but like a blessing in disguise at the end of the day, because of what you learn or how you grow or how you heal. So there's something very deep happening here, deeply karmic. Karma isn't a punishment. I think we often think that, like, oh, they'll get their karma. Karma is a result of how we've been taught to believe about ourselves, that we're, undeserving, unlovable, not good enough, not capable, not supported. And the reflection of that is kind of our karma, if you will. It's the reflection of these beliefs that we have about ourselves in the world. But beside that, I wanna get more on this karmic lesson, which I feel like should come through with them as we start to. Okay, so this person's energy toward Virgo. This person's energy toward Virgo. Page of Wands, Magician, in reverse, Seven of Swords. So this person has some, and we talked about, this baggage, but it runs deep. It's like inner child wounding trauma stuff. And I feel like it, and that's what makes them incapable of being in this, of showing up in this, or being what it is that you need here. And I feel like maybe you know that, maybe you don't, I don't know. But I feel like they put, with the Seven of Swords, it's almost like they put on this mask that none of this, is bothering them, or none of this, I don't know. It's like, there might be things you don't know about them, things that they've been through. And reasons that they're incapable of being, baggage that you're unaware of that makes them incapable of being what you're looking for them to be. Now, the other thing is that indicates a lack of healing, right? That's a lack of healing and growth, but it's almost like this person is determined to not face some stuff here. I don't know what they've been through, but the Magician in reverse is lacking the tools. Healthy connections require both people being willing to do the work to make that connection happen. It's, the real work of a connection starts whenever the excitement... Sorry guys, my video stopped because I used my phone and it said my video storage was full. So I had to delete a couple things, but we're good. Okay, so as I was saying, the real work of a relationship starts whenever the fun chemical flowing times wear off and you're kind of left with the insecurity and the baggage, because we all have baggage. Every single person has baggage. We're all adults here. We've all been through stuff, but it's about, not bringing your baggage into the connection and making it the other person's problem. It's about making sure that you're handling your stuff and that you're working through your fears, doubts, insecurities, limiting beliefs, and that you're not making it the other person's problem. And I feel like part of you is oh, well, I'm happy to help. I'm here. I love this person. I want to be there for them. But then again, it's the more that you try to do that, the more that, you end up drowning because they're not trying. It's you're putting in all this effort, but they're not, which is leading it to be a very unfair dynamic here. But let's get more here. This is this person's energy toward Virgo. This person's energy toward Virgo. I mean, there's the devil right there. It feels like they're caught up in some not good stuff. And the devil is addiction and attachment. It's, and attachments are ways that things that we reach for and things that we cling to make us feel safe when we're in a space of feeling very unsafe. And I feel like that's why I'm speaking to someone who is very empathetic and can understand, why someone does the things that they do and why their behavior is the way that it is, especially like if you've done a lot of growth on yourself. I think that those typically are the people who tend to be a little bit more empathetic, because they're like, man, I've been there. Like I've had to heal and grow so that I make better decisions too, or so that I'm able to be the person I am today too. And so, I do feel like you have a lot of empathy for this person and you want to help them, but just over and over, it just feels like they choose this devil. They choose a path that is just not good for them. And I feel like that's really hard for you, because it can start to make you feel like, okay, why won't they choose me? Like, why are they choosing this path that isn't good for them? It's so clear that it's not good for them. Like I said, I think everyone around them is like, what's going on? Like, what are they doing? Why are they doing this? So I don't know. I feel like it feels like this person's a bit of a lost soul right now. And I think that, it's hard, because when you love and care about someone, of course you don't want that to be the case for them. Of course you want to do whatever you can do to be there for them and to help them. But like, it's not your burden to bear, especially if you're bearing it to the extent that it's hurting you. And that doesn't mean you shouldn't love people. It doesn't mean you shouldn't try your best to help them. It just means that if someone isn't willing to let you in or to do the work themselves, then there is literally nothing that you can do other than let go. And I feel like that's why in between this connection, you do have except for all it is worth with the Emperor in reverse. But we'll get more on that in the extended. But let's get one more of this person's energy toward Virgo. King of Cups in reverse. And here's where I feel the confusing part is I feel like, so King of Cups in reverse with the Four of Wands, I feel like this person puts on like this front of being really stable, like of having it all together, of or like even to you, they might be like, oh no, everything's fine, like I'm good, or I don't know, it's just I feel like they have a good way of tricking. Like they're so determined to believe that the things that they're doing are good for them. It's like they can make you believe that, like, whatever they want you to believe in a way. And I feel like you do believe in the good that they portray, because you want to believe in, you want to see the best of people, and you want to believe in that version of people, which is a wonderful quality to have. And I'm not saying this person doesn't have good qualities too. It's just that it's obvious that their behavior is affecting you in such a negative way. And we can't, one of the best things that I've ever learned is that we can't take that personally, and we can't take it on as like a challenge to try to fix, change, or heal someone. We have to be willing to let go of the situation and trust that, first of all, whatever is meant for us will never require us to, sacrifice yourself. What is meant for you will never pass you. And if you're willing to trust that the universe has your back in that way, and that you can trust the outcome will be for your highest good, then you'll stop trying so hard to force something that is hurting you just over and over again. But I feel like that's a lot of what the extended's about. So in this extended, you do have accept for all it's worth with the Emperor in reverse. I'm going to hop on over to that extended. Sorry about the technical issues, but thank you guys for bearing with me. As always, I do hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. This extended is going to be, what you need to know, like what the deeper truth of the connection is and what you need to know in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self. As always, Virgo, I wish you absolutely nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Virgo.